All right, and we are live. Good evening po sa inyong lahat mga kaguro. And of course, welcome back to Gurong Pinoy. Hello, kaway-kaway sa lahat ng members ng Team Brunner. These are our let takers for March 2023. At kung ikaw ay isa sa kanila at hindi ka pa member po ng Team Brunner, it's very easy to become a member. Just send a message to our Facebook page wherever you are watching us now. Na kung kayo po ay nanonood sa ating Facebook page, dyan po kayo mag-send a message later pa kung paano po kayo maging member ng Team Brunner para po dire-diretso yung panonood, and of course, so that you can download all the files that we have. Again, your Let March 2023 Team Brunner is already until the day you take the Let. Kasama na po yung ating final coaching, yung ating pre-board, and of course, also included are our classified files. Okay, so hello po. Welcome again sa ating Team Brunner. Sa ating mga newbies, if this is the first time you're watching us, please do make sure that you are following our Facebook page, that's Gurong Pinoy. Also, our YouTube channel, that's Gurong Pinoy. And hello din po, and good evening din sa ating mga Team Piaget members na si Punks pa rin, no, pabalik-balik pa rin, nakakamiss, no? Kayong lahat po ay nakakamiss. And of course, they're just waiting for their license come this December. Okay, so again, welcome to everyone. Please do like, love, share our video, start a watch party, tag your friends. You can also show your support to Gurong Pinoy by sending us stars on Facebook. At sa ating naman pong YouTube channel, you can send us super chat, super stickers. Now, you can also support us by becoming one of our sponsors and one of our partners sa ating Adopt a School program. Now, we have feeding programs, we have our school supply pantries for different schools here in Iloilo. And so if you'd want to help us in any amount, no, with any amount that you can share with us, you see our GCash number, nandiyan po ngayon sa inyong screen. Again, pwede po kayong tumulong, become a member, and become one partner of Gurong Pinoy sa ating pong Adopted Schools program. Now, tonight's discussion is centered on general education, all new TOS items. But before we start with anything else, of course, let's all have our opening prayer. Kaya samahan niyo po ako, mga kaguro. Dear Lord, I come to you to ask for your guidance and direction in this study session. I ask that the Holy Spirit fill me with strength, creativity, and understanding to get through my studies without difficulty or sin. Help me hold my focus and attention. Help me to retain all that I learned. Please make my mind sharp and keep distractions at bay. If any part of my studying is weak or lacking in some way, let it be revealed so that I may correct it. Thank you for this opportunity to learn. Amen. All right, now once again, this is general education. Please do like, love, share our video, start a watch party. Of course, thank you so much for all of you who have already tagged your friends, who have shared our video. Maraming salamat po. If you can see captions dyan sa ating video, no po, pwede nyo pong i-click yung 3 dots and then just turn off the caption, no? Kung medyo asiwa kayo or medyo nadidistract kayo sa ating captions. It's very easy. Again, please like, love, share our video, start a watch party, tag your friends, send us stars, super chat, super stickers. General education, we start with question number 1. The Harry Potter series, as well as the renditions of Destiny classics, have brought together families, parents and children, friends and other people from different walks of life in order to enjoy the stories unfold. What literary standard is shown here? Is it letter A, style, letter B, emotional value, letter C, permanence, or letter D, universality? What do you think is the right choice for question number 1? Sir Jess or Ma'am Jess Soriano says letter D. Sir Adam Arenas, letter D. Ma'am Krisha Bico, letter D. Okay? What about the rest of you? Please do send us your answers, no? Again, we also have our live kada Sabado at Linggo po. Ang ating focus ay ang ating civil service takers, no? And of course, that's also applicable to the LET. So manood din po kayo ng ating math na live discussion. It's for free every Saturday. That's on Facebook and also on our YouTube channel. At sa Sunday naman po, that's our English discussion. That's all at 7 p.m., no? So manood po kayo. Hindi lamang siya applicable for CSE, applicable din po siya sa ating LET. Okay, so tomorrow night at 7 p.m., we are going to have our math discussion. Okay, so again, please do not forget to watch our live streams. Sir Ronaldo Evangelista, hello from Team Piaget. Okay, sa mga Team Piaget natin, nandito pa rin. Alright, I see a lot of letter Ds. As sabi dito, bringing together families, parents and children, friends, and other people from different walks of life in order to enjoy the stories unfold. No, kahit sino, kahit iba-ibang estado sa buhay, kahit na professional, hindi professional, kahit estudyante, kahit maliliit na kids, they come together and enjoy the stories unfold. No? For example, your ano nga yung Encanto, okay? So those stories, no, your Frozen, okay? So your classics, your Harry Potter series, what literary standard is shown here? The correct choice here, of course, would be letter D, universality. No? Akma siya sa iba't ibang klase ng tao, sa iba't ibang estado sa buhay. Not just style, emotional value, permanence, letter D is our correct choice. Now, for those of you who are not members of Team Brunner, we've discussed this last Monday, no, when we had our agenda discussion. We said the writer William J. Long developed the 7 literary standards used to determine if a piece of writing is literary in 1909. The 7 characteristics are artistry, suggestiveness, intellectual value, spiritual value, permanence, universality, and style. Now, what are all these literary standards about? Now, the first one was universality. This was what we were looking for in question number 1. It appeals to the hearts and minds of almost any reader. So, universal siya. No? Lahat ng klase nga, lahat ng tao sa lahat ng estado ng buhay ay nakaka-relate sa ganitong klase ng istorya. Number 2, artistry. It is aesthetically appealing. No? May aesthetics siya. It reveals hidden truth and beauty. That's artistry. Number 3, intellectual value. We had a question about this in our previous Gen Ed. It stimulates thinking. Okay, it enriches the mental processes, and it's all in the brain. That's intellectual value. Suggestiveness. It relies on emotional power to convey, to suggest symbolism, implied meanings, imagery, and messages. So it can suggest something to your imagination. Number 5, spiritual value. It elevates the spirit and the soul, and thus have the power to motivate and inspire, drawn from the suggested morals or lessons. No? Trending ngayon yung dollhouse. No? It has its spiritual value. No? Nakakapukaw siya ng emosyon, no? ng spirit, ng soul, and so it motivates, it inspires. Number 6, permanence. It is determined by a written work's ability to stand the test of time, longevity. No? It stands the test of time kahit na matagal na siya, trending pa rin siya. That's permanence. And of course, style. This is the distinct way the author expresses his or her thoughts. All right? But the correct choice, of course, was letter D, universality. Si Sir Felvic Tanudra, change to D. Okay? So, okay lang mag-change, okay lang maligwak dito. Basta importante sa darating na March na let ninyo, alam nyo na ang tumpak na choice. All right, we go to question number 2. This lists the sources used in the study. Is it letter A, biography, letter B, appendices, letter C, index, or letter D, bibliography? What is our choice for number 2? Okay, number 2, hello again sa ating mga Team Piaget babies, Ma'am Kim Romanilios. Good evening po. Ma'am Lagrima Zemolaba Antonio. Good evening po, Ma'am Mek from Team Piaget. Still watching your live. Miss to hear your voice, waiting for the positive result. Okay, positive na positive, of course. Licensed professional teachers na in December. Ganon din kay Ma'am Venus Angelique Canonigo Cruz from Team Piaget. Ma'am Mary Joy Bagawisan, maraming salamat. Wow, blooming si Ma'am Mek. Good evening. Nakakamiss po voice nyo. Team Piaget. Ma'am Lovely from Hong Kong. Mag-dinner na po. Wala pa akong dinner. Wala po akong pa-dinner sa mga amo. Kaya nakapag-focus sa live. Okay, libre si Ma'am Lovely ngayon. Good evening po sa Hong Kong. Okay, number 2, I see D's. Okay, karamihang choice niyo ay D, may ilang letter B. The correct choice here, of course, is letter D, bibliography. No? All the sources, all the references, no, references that you have used in the study. Okay, so letter D, bibliography po yung ating hinahanap. Your biography, this is a story about a person's life. Okay, so for example, you say biography ni Fidel Valdez Ramos. Okay, so that's about FVR. If you say autobiography, then that means that is your life story and you yourself has written it. Okay, so autobiography, ikaw mismo yung nagsulat ng life story mo. Appendices, this is a section at the end of a book where you find additional information. And index, this is an alphabetical list of names, subjects, etc. with reference to the pages on which they are mentioned. So usually, you'd see both, no, yung BC sa end ng inyong researches. Okay? But we were looking for letter D, bibliography, is tumpak for number 2. We move on with question number 3. The Greek, Roman, and Norse stories have been very famous despite the passing of time. What is the term for stories about gods and goddesses? Letter A, legend. Letter B, myth. Letter C, fantasy. Or letter D, short story. Okay, what is our choice for question number 3? Okay, these are all English now. Yung merong parte ng research. Good evening from Mindanao, Sir Jerry Mayas. Assalamualaikum po to all our Muslim brothers and sisters. Good evening. All right, number 3, ICBs. Letter B, myth. The term for stories about gods and goddesses, the correct choice, of course, would be letter B, myth. No? Kaya natin tinawag na Greek mythology, Roman mythology, or Norse mythology. Now, what about the rest of our choices here? Your letter A, legend. This is a traditional story, sometimes popularly regarded as historical, but not authenticated. No? Legend, alamat, no? The legend of King Arthur. Minsan ay regarded siya as something that is embedded sa ating history, but it actually is not authenticated. Minsan ay hindi sigurado na totoo, hindi sigurado na nangyari. Okay, so for example here, the legend of King Arthur. Fantasy, this is a genre of fiction that concentrates on imaginary elements from the term fantastic, no? Fantasy, fantasya, imaginary. Kaya kapag sinabi mong fantasya mo siya, ini-imagine mo na jowa mo siya, no? So, nasa fantasya mo siya, imaginary. Short story, this is a story with a fully developed theme but significantly shorter and less elaborate than a novel. Okay, so halos magkapareha sila na novel, but your short story, from the term itself, it is shorter than your novel. Okay, but we were looking, of course, for mito in Filipino, that's myth. Letter B is tumpak. We move on with question number 4. How do you call the relationship of Zeus and Jupiter? Is it letter A, siblings, letter B, friends, letter C, enemies, or letter D, counterparts? Okay, what is our choice? Number 4. English pa rin siya, no? Literature pa rin yung ating pinag-uusapan. Okay, for D, sabi ni Ma'am Mardy Omongas. For D, Ma'am Noemi Cabalejo, D. Ma'am Maria Suset Sustuedo, D. Ma'am Shanine, good evening po. She's watching from Bukidnon. Hello po sa lahat ng mga taga Bukidnon. Okay, I see a lot of letter Ds, and ang tumpak na choice natin is letter D, no? Counterparts. Okay, so when you say Zeus and Jupiter, the same sila, no? Zeus is the king of gods who ruled over the skies and heavens. Jupiter, ganun din po. But Zeus is the term they use, that is the name that they use in Greek mythology, while Jupiter is the name that they use in Roman mythology. Remember, last Gen Ed discussion, meron tayong question kung saan nakabase yung inyong planet sa solar system, and your answer was Roman mythology. So Jupiter is one of our planets, and of course, based po siya sa Roman mythology. Okay, so Zeus and Jupiter, the same person, just different names. It's dependent on the type of mythology. So in Greek mythology, it's called Zeus, or he is called Zeus. In Roman mythology, he is called Jupiter. Okay, so counterparts. Counterparts, letter D, is tumpak for number 4. We go to question number 5. Data from the participants revealed that 92% wanted to go to school. Letter A, conclusion. Letter B, result. Letter C, method, data analysis. Or letter D, literature review. This was our question of the day today. Not today, no, yesterday pala, yesterday. This was our question of the day yesterday. Mhm. Mamuena. Happy Mascara. Mascara daw sa Bacolod pero review is life. Tama po yan, no? Okay, number 5. ICB. Mm-hmm. Okay, number 5, letter B's. Okay, so again, as I've mentioned, isa po siya sa ating question of the day, no? Kahapon specifically, this was our question of the day. Now, I would like to encourage all of you whenever we post our question of the day, especially the members of Team Brunner, sumagot po kayo, no? Mag-comment po kayo ng inyong answer para po ma-discuss din natin, nababalikan din naman po na post natin or nako-comment yung tamang choice, okay? Now, for number 5, the correct choice here, of course, is letter B, no? Result. Wala siyang discussion ng conclusion, wala siyang method na diniscuss dito, wala din, of course, literature review. This is simply the result. Now, it simply states the result of the study. Now, so data from your participants revealed that 92% wanted to go to school. Now, remember the different parts of your research. Chapter 1, that's your introduction. It has a problem in its background. Chapter 2, review of related literature. Chapter 3, methods and procedures. Chapter 4, you have your presentation of data, analysis, and interpretation of data. Then chapter 5, you have summary, conclusions, and recommendations. Of course, your others here, that would include your indices, your bibliography or references, and also your appendices, no? Nandyan po sa others. Okay? So, remember po all of this. Paborito din siya ng LET, no? Palagi po siyang tinatanong sa LET kung saan mo makikita itong parte ng research. Alright? And so, the correct choice is letter B for number 5. Hello, Ma'am Marvy Ortega, nagmumultitask, nagbabantay sa kanyang 9-month-old na baby. Laban lang, Ma'am Marvy Ortega. Okay, number 6. Which environmental law requires industries to install anti-pollution devices and bans the use of incinerators? Letter A, Greenpeace Act. Letter B, Anti-Pollution Act. Letter C, Environmental Security Act. Or letter D, Philippine Clean Air Act. Ma'am Sheridin Sumapan, how to become a member, just send a message to our Facebook page after po ng ating discussion. Kasi po sa ating Facebook page at sa ating YouTube channel, napuputol po yung discussion ninyo, no? Hindi po siya full-length video. Like tonight, we are going to be discussing 30 items sa ating Facebook page. Napuputol po hanggang 10 lang siya. Ganon din sa ating YouTube channel. And so, I encourage all of you magpa-member po sa Team Brunner. And of course, maliban po sa nababalikan nyo yung ating videos, you can replay, you can download if you want to. Meron din po tayong PDF files na po pwede nyo din pong i-download. And of course, wala pong hidden fees, dire-diretso until the day you take the LEP in March. Kasama na po yung pre-board, final coaching, classified files. Andyan po lahat sa ating Team Brunner. Okay, number 6, letter D. All right, the correct choice here, of course, is letter D, no? Your Philippine Clean Air Act, Anti-Pollution, and Incinerators. Incinerators kasi, ito yung pagsusunog ng ating basura. Okay, so letter D, Philippine Clean Air Act, ang ating tumpak na choice. Okay, now, the Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999, which is RA 8749, this act provides for the creation of a national program of air pollution management, focusing primarily on pollution prevention for the promotion of mass media communication in order to create social awareness and active participation in air quality planning and monitoring. No? So, anong tawag dito? Hiningi din nila yung help ng ating social media, social awareness, and active participation. Now, Greenpeace, this was our choice A. Greenpeace was founded in Canada in 1971 by Irving Stowe and Dorothy Stowe, immigrant environmental activists from the U.S. Greenpeace states its goal that is to ensure the ability of the Earth to nurture life in all its diversity and focuses its campaigning on worldwide issues such as climate change, deforestation, overfishing, commercial whaling, genetic engineering, and anti-nuclear issues. So maraming isyung kinakaharap or dinidil yung Greenpeace. Voluntary siya. No? So, NGOs itong ating Greenpeace. Okay, now environmental security is protection of natural environment and vital interests of citizen society, the state, from internal and external impacts, adverse processes and trends in development that threaten human health, biodiversity, and sustainable functioning of ecosystems and survival of mankind. No, umbrella term din itong environmental security. Marami din siyang sakop natural environment and all the interests of the citizens, society, and the state. Okay, so that's for letter C. All right, but we were looking for letter D. No, letter D po tayo sa ating number 6. Okay, we move on with question number 7. The red tide phenomenon causes what particular marine organism to be poisonous for human consumption? Is it letter A, arthropods, letter B, mollusks, letter C, earthworms, or letter D, algae? Mm-hmm. Number 7, what is our choice? Okay, question number 7. Sir Michael Ulep says B. Ma'am Mayan says B. Ma'am Desiree B. Ma'am Renalyn says B. Ma'am Geraldine Rodriguez B. Sir Poy B. Ma'am Victoria B. May iilang letter D. Okay. May ilang sumagot ng letter D, no? Now, let's take a look at your question again. The red tide phenomenon causes what particular marine organism to be poisonous? Ano ang nagiging poisonous kapag ka may red tide? At ano yung pinagbabawal na kainin kapag ka may red tide? The correct choice here, of course, would be letter B, mollusks, no? So, mollusk po yung inyong green shells, okay? So, toxic shellfish, your mussels from this area are unsafe to eat or due to shellfish toxins. Do not eat clams, mussels, or scallops. These are your mollusks, you know, may mga shells mo. Particularly sa atin yung mga tahong, no? Ito yung iniiwasan. Kahit talaba, iniiwasan po yan kapag ka may red tide. Kasi pag iintindihin mo yung ating question, sabi ng question, anong marine organism ang nagiging poisonous for human consumption wherever or whenever there is red tide? And so mollusk po ang pinagbabawal. Hindi siya algae. Yung algae mo, siya yung cause ng red tide. Okay? So red tide po is caused by your algae, but the one that becomes poisonous during a red tide is your mollusk, no? Your shells. Arthropods, these are your insects, no? These are your animals with segmented joints. Very common question sa LET regarding your arthropods would be about dengue. Okay, so usually my question about dengue fever is caused by this and that, no, by a virus. And the vector, the one that transmits dengue fever from one person to another, is a mosquito. In which phylum does your mosquito belong? Okay, and your answer would be arthropods. No? Your arthropods mo po, another common question in the LET, ito din yung may pinakamaraming species under it. Okay, so pinakamaraming species under it would be your arthropods. Even your spiders are parts ng inyong arthropods. No, may arachnids kayong arachnida mo ay parte din ng inyong arthropods. All your insects are parts of your arthropods. Okay, your earthworms. Common question naman regarding your earthworm would be your asexual reproduction, non-sexual reproduction, that is termed as segmentation. Okay, so yan po yung non-sexual reproduction by your earthworms, wherein each segment, kada parte ng inyong earthworm na puputol at nagiging bagong organism. Okay, so that's a common question in the LET. So again, number 7, letter B po yung inyong magiging choice dito, hindi po letter D. Huwag po tayong ma-confuse sana, no? Kasi sabi dito, alin yung naging poisonous? And so that would be mollusk. Yung algae mo, this is the cause of your red tide. Pero yung sa atin pong tinatanong dito, ano yung naging poisonous? Okay? And so the correct choice is letter B, mollusks. Excuse me. All right, we go to number 8. The main aim of Brundtland Commission is a development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. This development is classified as blank. Letter A is sustainable development, letter B environmental development, letter C ecological development, or letter D uncompromising development. What is our choice for number 8? Mom Michelle says letter A. Mm-hmm. Okay, Ma'am DP Gavino, letter A. Ma'am Pamlexi Ibanez, letter A. Okay, tumpak kaya ang letter A. Ma'am Sheradine Pompong Manabilang Sumapal, nagpapadede ng anak while watching Ma'am Mek. Hello po sa inyong anak. Breastfeeding mom si Ma'am Sheradine. Mabuhay po kayo. Mhm. Ma'am Ay, Aro Tubales, sabi ni Ma'am Ay, parang hinahanap-hanap na ng katawan ang review dito. Team Piaget po, Ma'am Mek, nakikinood. Hello po sa ating mga Team Piaget babies. Okay, I see a lot of letter A, sustainable development. Okay, your hint here, of course, is Brundtland Commission, and that would be sustainable development. No? Tumpak po yan. Now, when you say sustainable development, there is development sa ating present generation, but it does not compromise, okay, the ability of your future generations to also meet their own needs. That means nagkaka-develop tayo, pero hindi natin inuubos yung resources for our future generations. Nagtitira tayo para sa kanila. Okay? So, sustainable development, no? Nasusustain yung ating development, nasusustain yung development until the next generations. Okay? So, letter A po, yung ating hinahanap na choice dito, hindi po environmental, ecological, or uncompromising. The term that we are looking for is sustainable development. Ligwak ang person, sabi ni Sir Poy Aplaon. Okay lang po yan. Remember, kapag kaligwak, sabihin, yehe, ligwak, at least natututo, at least sa susunod na ma-meet nyo yung item na ito, alam nyo na ang tumpak na choice. Okay, we go to number 9. One environmental activity that may reduce water pollution is the blank, letter A. Desalination of seawater to make it potable. Letter B, use of detergents to clean the water. Letter C, treatment of wastewater before discharging. Or letter D, construction of flood control in low-lying areas. Okay, what is our choice? Number 9. Sir Max Franco, good evening po. Nakakamiss mag-review dito. God bless you, Mamet. God bless din po, Sir Max Franco. Ma'am Rose Ann, another breastfeeding mom. Hello po. Good evening. All right, number 9C. Okay, and of course, letter C, ang tumpak na choice, no? One activity that may reduce water pollution. Our topic here is water pollution. Your letter A is not talking about water pollution. Now, this is a way so that you can make your seawater potable para mainom yung inyong seawater, no? Katulad ng mga ginagawa nila sa Middle East, sa Saudi, sa Dubai, Bahrain, etc. Now, use of detergents to clean the water. Hindi po tayo gumagamit ng detergent para maging clean yung ating tubig, no? Construction of flood control in low-lying areas. This is not talking about water pollution, but this is talking about flood control, okay? The correct choice here is letter C, treatment of wastewater, okay? So treatment of wastewater before discharging. We go to number 10. A simple food chain consists of the following. The cobworm that feeds on the corn is eaten by the small bird, and this bird is then eaten by the hawk. What will happen to the organisms involved in the food chain if the worm is killed by pesticide? Is it letter A, the corn will decrease, letter B, the hawk will die, letter C, the bird will thrive, or letter D, the worm will still reproduce? Okay, what is our choice? Number 10. Okay, number 10, what do you think is the correct choice? Okay, number 10, what is our choice for question number 10? Okay, meron pang naligwak, mali yung pindot. Okay. Si Ma'am Lerma, Echo. Ligwak, mali yung napindot ni Ma'am. Okay, number 10. B or C? Okay, letter B. I see a lot of letter Bs. Okay, so sabi dito, okay, sabi sa number 10 mo, you have a simple food chain consisting of the following. The cupworm that feeds on the corn is eaten by the small bird, and this bird is then eaten by the hawk. What will happen to the organisms involved in the food chain if the worm is killed by pesticide? Okay, so you imagine that this is your food chain. Also, you have the sun, of course, the only source of energy. You have a corn, that's your corn, now that's the producer. It is eaten by your worms. Those are your primary consumer, no? Yung unang-unang kumakain sa inyong producer. These are your herbivores, no? Yung primary consumer. And then this worm is eaten by your bird, and the bird, of course, is eaten by your hawk, no? In this case, eagle siya. Okay, wala akong makitang hawk. Okay, now the question is, what happens if the worms are killed by pesticides? Now, in your food chain, as in your food web, lahat po ng bagay, lahat po ng organisms ay magkakaugnay, no? Kung inyong naaalala yung ating kanta, ang lahat ng bagay ay magkakaugnay, no? Ang lahat ng ating mga organisms ay magkakaugnay. Okay, so what happens to your food chain if the worms are killed by your pesticides? And so when that happens, of course, wala nang kakainin yung inyong bird, and so mamamatay yung inyong mga bird. And so yung hawk mo, eagle lang ito pero hawk sa ating question, no? Yung hawk mo, eventually, wala na din makakain. And so the correct choice here would be letter B, the hawk will die. Okay? So hindi po pwedeng the corn will decrease. Wala na nga kumakain sa corn mo, no? Dahil wala na yung segmented worms. And so hindi po pwedeng decrease yung term dito. The bird will thrive. Wala po silang kakainin, and so they cannot thrive. The worm will still reproduce. Wala na nga kasi namatay na silang lahat. Okay? So, letter B ang tumpak na choice. The hawk will die. Tama po yan, Sir Kebs Tanlawan by Joey Ayala. No? Now, number 11, anong bantas ang siyang inilalagay sa pagitan ng unlaping ika at tamgilang? Letter A, panaklong. Letter B, kuwet. Letter C, gitling. Or letter D, tuldok. Good evening, Ma'am Mariana Joy, CB. Okay, maraming salamat po for sending us stars. Sabi ni Ma'am Mariana Joy, hi Mamek, just dropping by, Team Pichet member here. Okay, maraming salamat po, and maraming salamat sa inyong pa-stars, Ma'am Mariana Joy. Okay, si Sir RV Flores. Hello po, good evening. Hi ma'am, kumusta po? Kakamiss po voice nyo. Team Pichet here. Sir RV, congratulations in advance po. Okay, yung mga magiging LPTs natin very, very soon. Okay, what is our choice? Number 11, anong bantas ang nilalagay sa pagitan ng unlaping ika at tambilang? I see a lot of letter C's. Tumpak kaya ang ating letter C? Or ligwakers kaya ang letter C? Genocide kaya ang mangyari? Okay.